Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Archa Thakur and today we'll be talking about SWOT analysis. What is it, when to use it, and how to run an effective workshop. These are the four things that we'll be covering in the session today. Understanding about SWOT analysis, when can you use it, what are the situations that it applies to, and then step-by-step process of conducting SWOT analysis session and some examples to help you. Let's get started. Now, what is SWOT analysis? It's a strategic planning tool which is used to analyze and improve projects or processes or business plans, creating business strategies. It is applicable to business strategy that, as I said, problem solving, or it can also be used for personal planning. This is how SWOT analysis grid looks like. Now, SWOT is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. So it's a four section grid that you're seeing here. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors. We will learn what that means when I tell you how to conduct a session. But for now, it is good to remember that these are internal factors and opportunities and threats are external factors. Usually, people adapt the framework to their need at times, so there is flexibility, but this is what the generic concept is. Again, just a quick recap on what is SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is a tool or a framework for strategic planning. Very important to understand what are some of the situations that you can use it for: to develop a business strategy, planning a project, process improvement initiatives, or even career development. Some decision making that you have to do about your career, you can use it. You have to analyze current state of your business or your process, you can use it. You need to work with your team and identify improvement areas, you can use a SWOT analysis. You want to understand risks and what are the opportunities, you can conduct a SWOT analysis. Now, when you decide to conduct a SWOT analysis session, I have divided that process into three phases. What do you need to do before the workshop? What do you need to do during the workshop, the actual time when you're conducting the workshop, and what do you need to do after it? So let's look at the first part, which is the preparation. What do you need to do before the workshop? The first and foremost is to identify the scope and objective, which means what are you analyzing and what do you want to achieve. So I want to analyze my current customer ticket creation process to improve efficiency. So that is a good example of objective and scope. So that you need to identify first. Then who all are going to do the workshop or attend the session. It should be a cross-functional group, which means people from all areas where stakeholders are and people who influence the work. Most important are team members. These are the ones who are doing the work, subject matter experts, leave someone from leadership team, and if possible and if applicable, your customers. Some basic housekeeping before the workshop: send invites early. It's very important. Tell people what is it about so that they come prepared with some thoughts already in their minds so that you can make the most of your session. Now let's take a quick look at what these four sections mean. Now, strengths, you are seeing some questions here. Now, whenever you're conducting a workshop, it is always a good idea to give people some thinking prompts, some questions. If you put them like this, it will help people think about what their inputs are. Otherwise, what happens is people don't really understand what they have to do and they'll end up giving very generic responses and you will not reach any conclusion. So give them some questions. I have put some examples here now that can vary depending on your situation. So let's start with strengths. Strengths, as I said, are internal factors. For example, what's working well. So prompt questions that you put will help participants think more clearly. Examples of strengths might include customer satisfaction, processes that are efficient, or quick turnaround times. Whatever is going on well in your process, project, or business, that is your strengths. Next comes weaknesses. Now, this is also internal factors. These might include issues like high employee turnover or missed targets, whatever is not going on well with your project, process, or business, that is weakness. Focus on what's not working and can be improved. Now let's talk about opportunities. Opportunities are what are the possibilities for us? These could be market trends, technology shifts, or emerging customer needs. Where is the scope for improvement and betterment? That is your opportunity. Again, the discussion will depend on the problem or the business that you're analyzing. Threats are external risks that could harm your project or business. For example, competition, some compliance problem, or policy shifts, or major environmental changes. So, for example, COVID hit, so that was a threat to most businesses. So, some things like that. So, what will you do during the workshop? You will ask people to put their thoughts in each of the quadrant, each of the section of the grid. Okay, now you have got all the inputs. What you need to do is clean up ideas, refine ideas. There will be people who would have said the same thing. There will be people who would have said similar things. So prioritize them. First of all, it's called affinity mapping. Similar ideas should be put in one group. Now you will have categories of ideas. Merge similar points, clarify vague ones. If somebody has written something and you don't quite understand it or you need more information, you ask them to explain their point of view. Use a 2 by 2 matrix, impact versus urgency. Whatever inputs that you've got, say what has the most impact, what needs to be addressed uh, on an urgent basis. So that will give you a prioritized list of inputs that you have received. Now, this is an example of, say, you're doing SWOT analysis for digital onboarding project. So your team will put ideas like that. They won't be just like 4 or 5 ideas, there'll be too many ideas, so you'll have to organize them and you will have to categorize them. Once you have done that, you need to, after the workshop, you need to create action items. Action items as to what input requires which action, because nothing is complete without some actions associated with them. For each and every input or category of inputs, you will have some action items, and that will be your plan or strategy. So you analyze the project, you got inputs from a cross functional group, you refined and clarified the ideas, and you create a plan, you create an action plan that okay, this is how we are going to address these issues. If there are strengths, you need to build on them. If there are weaknesses, you need to improve them, or you need to take care of those weaknesses, strengthen those parts. If there are opportunities, you need to explore them. If there are threats, you need to mitigate them. And that's the whole idea of SWOT analysis. This was a quick one. I hope you liked it. It's a very good tool. You can do it for various situations. Just do a workshop and people will like you. It's a very good way to make people brainstorm about something. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.